Hello, beautiful beings. This is the Psychedelic Gypsy back with another reading, only a couple days apart. Crazy. So we'll see what comes out today. I did all oracle cards the other day. I was feeling super heavy, but it was just super called to get on and share. So today we're going to start with tarot, see what's different, and go from there. We have strength in reverse. Don't you even think about it. Scuttle. All right, this is Scuttle. You guys, this is one of many kitties that reside in our home. Hello, my needy baby. Apparently, she wants to participate in the reading today. Mamas, get down. Get down, honey. Get down. What are you doing? Lay in your bed. All right. So maybe an animal, a cat, is a sign that you, a sign or a symbol that you relate to. Three of Cups. And that's why she decided to pop up and say hi to you today. Page of Swords. Left to right and then down. We're going to get some oracle cards today. Seven of Swords in reverse. Ooh. Got a Two of Wands in reverse. Six of Swords. Quite a bit of swords on the table. Perhaps someone is in their mind quite a bit right now. Oh my goodness. Okay. Two of Cups. Six of Wands in reverse. So I am getting right off the bat an aspect of shame and guilt. So if that resonates right off the bat, then maybe this reading is for you. So we're going to read down, but these two cards right off the bat. Six of Wands in reverse, Seven of Swords in reverse. These right here scream guilt and shame, maybe something that's affected someone's reputation, a decision that was made. Maybe you feel like you made the wrong choice, went down the wrong path. A little Dionysus energy here, that Three of Cups parting. Maybe someone who overdid it in the parting realm. Going a little heavy with substance uses. All right, so that's just what came to me right off the bat here. So we'll start on the left. Strength reversed, Seven of Swords, and Two of Cups. So it seems like someone giving in to maybe a romantic temptation, and for some reason it didn't go how you saw it going. Or maybe this is something that is maybe non-traditional in its form, and that's causing some shame and guilt. Let's go over a little bit, and so I can get a better idea. Three of Cups, Two of Wands in reverse, Six of Wands. Again, okay, so with the Cups, we have a lot of emotion. Wands, we have thoughts, kind of intense words. But with both of these wands reverse, this is also a lack of movement. So I get the sense that I am talking to someone who has been dipping their toes into the world of love, maybe dating, and there seems to be kind of a charming but new relationship energy here with the Knight of Cups, the Two of Cups, Three of Cups, kind of balancing out this reading here. But I get the sense that it was based in, I want to say, like partying, substances, and Or something that just came to mind is that you met in an environment where there was parting, celebration of some sort, maybe even a creative artistic environment like a museum, we'll call it a sip and paint, but that for whatever reason it was a little taboo, or is taboo, and a decision to go down this path did not go over well, or the decision not to go down this path did not go over well. And there's a lot of guilt and shame around this. And someone's feeling weak, like they didn't have the strength to make the right decision. But now there is a better understanding, kind of like the knowledge, the after, the knowing in retrospect. And now with that new bit of knowledge, there's an intent to move forward, maybe with this relationship, regardless of external factors. Even if it's come at the cost of one's reputation, character. Let me get a few wild unknowns here, because I'm getting the sense, just want to be sure. The Warrior. Okay, so when I said untraditional, this may even be, see the little rainbow there, this may be an LGBTQ relationship that I'm speaking about, or encounter that happened, and there's some feeling of guilt and shame about it, or someone that's wanting to pursue an LGBT QI relationship, and for whatever reason there's some guilt and shame about that. Maybe it's like I said, non-traditional in the fact that like the people around you wouldn't accept it. The shapeshifter, yeah, so someone's having to take some different forms, so to adapt to the environment around them, or to, you know, I've just been watching Boots on Netflix, and it's based on the book called The Pink Marine. And the main character in the story is a homosexual young man when homosexuality was still chargeable under UCMJ in the Marines. So he has to hide it, and one of the drill sergeants is also homosexual, a homosexual male, and helps him along. And they're complete. I mean, especially the older DI is an absolute badass. He's like Marine recon. But where I'm going with this is that, bottom of the deck, more rainbows. The comic. That someone is having to maybe put on a mask, right, to adapt to their environment, or not coming to terms with this aspect of themselves. Maybe this aspect of themselves comes out when there are substances involved. Another rainbow here I just noticed. So rainbow in the cup, rainbow here, all the colors of the rainbow I just heard. So this might be a relationship, depending on where you're at in the world, in America, right? This could also be taboo. So, you know, I brought up military service, and under the current, with the current political environment, this could be something that you're working to hide, just so that it doesn't take away, not that it would take away, but take away from what you perceive to be your very strong reputation. But there's some aspects of abandoning self here, especially with that Seven of Swords in reverse. It's kind of like getting what you want, but in a really bittersweet way. So if you're not being able to embody yourself completely, that could be really bittersweet and painful. So let's get a little bit more. we're going to take some from the Sacred Earth Oracle. I have not had these cards out in forever, and I felt like they needed to come out. I've got that in the Medicine Woman Oracle sitting here to my side. So let's get a little more guidance for you, my dear. As you can see, these haven't been used much. They're very sticky. Balance. Light and dark, masculine, feminine. Good and evil. Unity. Unity and balance. Okay. I love that. Revolution at the bottom. We're going to keep that just off to the side here. Revolution. And then I'm going to get some Medicine Woman Oracle too. They're just beautiful cards. So just a little feedback here. This may include balancing those aspects of yourself, right? So if, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an LGBTQI relationship. Maybe this is something fantastical about yourself. Maybe it's a really cheesy hobby. Maybe it's an artistic quality, especially with the Three of Cups, the celebration. To me, this speaks to also kind of the god Dionysus, right? There's creative, passionate, artistic energy behind this. And also when I think of a rainbow, I think of that. All the colors of the rainbow, right? There's art to it. There's the rainbow bridge, a crossing, potential crossing into another world. So hopefully this is, and I say another world, and in the Unity card here, this is what we have. Being watched over and held by this beautiful angel of fire. So passionate, creative energy with that fire. For someone here that's hearing this, if there is an artistic hobby that you're being called to, do it, pursue it. Because by leaving this out, this desire of yours unexplored, it's hurting you. It's like clogging you up here. It's kind of, there's a lot of head and a lot of heart going on, but not a lot of movement forward. The movement forward is slow. So if this is something that you're considering investing your time and energy in, it's going to help you be a more balanced, transformed version of yourself. Because we have the dragonfly right up here up top. This will help you transform into a more balanced individual. Okay, we're gonna get a few more. The art of rituals. Practice rituals to re-enchant your life. Okay, so look at that beautiful kind of like body totem here. The art of rituals. So there's like I said, there's some sort of artistic quality to this. And with this card, the art of rituals, practice rituals to re-enchant your life. You do not have to have a religion to live a deeply spiritual life, to embody power, to create sacred moments in your own life. I mean, this can be gardening, right? Now, let me backtrack. This can be getting up in the morning, taking a moment to meditate, having a glass of tea. That's a ritual, right? It's a self-love ritual. It's a grounding ritual. And then moving on from there, throughout the day, it's taking time to deep breathe. It's taking time out in your garden to generate life in the form of flowers, plants, food. It's the individual that snuggles with their dog every single night. So it's, and then taking time to be present in that. So I heard 33 here. So this is Empress energy too. So creative, generative energy. So creative, there's something that is being intended. I'm just going to draw the one. Because that right there has been a pretty powerful one. There's something being called to kind of like come into your life, to be pulled out of your life. And even, I heard, even if it's cheesy, and there's, for whatever reason, some sort of like guilt and shame. Maybe you came from a super analytical, traditional family, and you've always wanted to pursue painting, art, herbalism, something of that nature, growing mushrooms, whatever it might be. But there's something shameful about that, or you think it would affect this this warrior. Oh, my dog's barking. Just a second. I apologize for that. So everything that happens during a reading is part of the reading, right? So what I was saying at that point, the dog barking, that might be kind of in the back of your mind, that little voice, but there's something there. So while I was outside, what came to mind with this was the warrior poet archetype. All right, that soft and hard balance, the peaceful warrior, and also with the shapeshifter card. He was a shapeshifter. So Maui comes to mind, right? Kind of that warrior. I don't want to call him a poet, but whoever this is, I think for a very long time has been doing what they need to survive in the world, to be strong for those around them. And sometimes that's being malleable to the environment. This can be adaptable energy, or this can be a manipulative energy. It really just depends. But there's something within you that needs to be heard, that needs to come out, that needs to be created in the world. And maybe that's, I said warrior poet, maybe that's poetry, maybe that's writing, maybe you are some super hard, bad mama jamma and you write poetry and nobody knows, and I'm not laughing because that's funny. I'm laughing because, that's kind of the sense that I get here, because there's this belief, there's this fear or shame, maybe about being one's true embodied self. So maybe start small, right? Let's start small with the art of rituals. Let's start small with bringing little pieces of that into our day, right? So maybe that's journaling and writing yourself a bit of poetry, or just journaling, right? Maybe that's softening to your very first bubble bath. And I feel like there's maybe a masculine individual that I'm talking to here. Maybe it's time to light candles, do a bubble bath, and listen to some Sade. Maybe there's some qualities of yourself, for whatever reason. Maybe that's a conditioned belief. Maybe that your feminine self is gay, right? Like, I'm sorry if I offend anyone by saying that, but we have to take into account kind of the stereotypes and things that are put out into the world and conditioned with people. Maybe you're one of those, maybe you're one of the men or females with a very masculine shell that needs to find balance within yourself, and allow yourself to feel, to cry, to love, to express your emotions, and to be your authentic self instead of shape-shifting to make everybody else comfortable. And I think you're moving that way. I think it's slow going. I think you understand, and I do think you're receptive to this. But I think that's the important message for you right now. 3:53 on the timer when I said that. So we're going to wrap this up because I've been trying to do some shorter ones with some affirmations, a little self-love guidance based on this particular case. If you like it, or if it resonates, hit like and subscribe, and maybe this is where you're supposed to be right now to get messages. There's been lots of times I've had tarot readers for a short period of time or a long period of time, and then suddenly those readings stopped resonating, and so I no longer follow them. I am free and at peace. I am a free person living in a world that is a reflection of my own love and understanding. Okay, this is beautiful, especially with this unity and balance card. So this just also affirms to me that I'm possibly speaking to someone from a marginalized, either a marginalized community or an individual that is needing to reflect what they put out into the world, what they fight for, and adapt themselves into the rest of the world, into themselves, right? So going back to my Boots story, the from Netflix, it's, you know, fighting for your loved ones around you, fighting for your family, fighting for your country, fighting for the world, but then not ever taking the time to show yourself that love, which puts you in unity and harmony with the world around you, right? Because we can't be ashamed and feel guilty about who we are, about not being strong enough, and then think that the world isn't going to reflect that back to us. So it's time to start making your day and your life more sacred for you, so that the love that you have for those in the world around you is reflected back to yourself, and then that amplifies everything. Okay? I am a free person living in a world that is a reflection of my own love and understanding. Now with that, right, if we don't have love and understanding for ourselves, it's going to be very difficult to have it for other people. And the world needs more lovers, a lot less hate. This is what we need in the world, so that we can be free and at peace. There are so many people in the world that are not free and at peace. So it's time to start with yourself, my love. Stop waging war. Bye-bye.